listening to Enlivening Musings, a podcast to enhance your life so you live fully alive. Sponsored by the Pleasure Fairy app. Download it for more support. Welcome to Enlivening Musings. I'm Crystal.
And I'm Katie.
And today we're talking headaches.
Yeah.
Like big old pain in the butt? No, in the head.
Yes. So common, right? When I think so many people struggle with headaches. I know, definitely runs in my family. So I have personal experience of working through it and things that have worked for me. So we're just going to dive in.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about it.
There's so many reasons for like the causes, I feel like, of headaches. And, you know, we've got structural things, we've got nutrition things, we've got emotional things, we've got just all of it.
Hormonal things.
Hormonal
big time
things.
for
Right.
women. Mm-hmm.
Right. So, I mean, let's maybe break them down a little bit structurally. You know, of course, you're the PT.
Yeah.
But
So I'm PT. So yeah, there are definitely times where there's structural things. Whiplash is a big thing. That can cause some structural malalignments. The jaw is highly involved in headaches. That often gets missed a lot. I see that a lot and work with that a lot in my practice. And that's a tricky one because people don't know where to go when they're having that jaw face related pain.
Yeah.
They go to the dentist. Dentists are amazing at what they do, but they don't really know what to do with jaw pain or TMJ dysfunction, TMD. And your doctor doesn't know what to do either, right? Your MD.
Yep.
So not I always want to preface, like, not that they don't know what to do, but specifically for a lot of these structural orthopedic things, they're just like, okay, where do I send this person?
right.
So yes, there is structural, but a lot of times the structural stuff is old structural, right? So it's not really an acute malalignment issue, although I bet there's some chiropractors that would disagree. And I know Crystal and I both love chiropractic care and have both experienced how having an adjustment and getting the alignment on track feels better. But I always have to bring it in and tie it back to, why is the body holding tension there? If there is some structural, musculoskeletal, myofascial tension, it is almost always tied back to some emotional component.
Right.
And I can say this because I've lived it and I see it all the time in my clients. So I think that's super important to address, is what's going on. And that doesn't mean it's necessarily easy, right? Because there can be things that trigger it. And so I think starting to identify different headache triggers, which could be like emotional situations that come up. But it could even be like smells or food sensitivities, different things like that. So there's lots of different things, but I think they're all connected. I don't think you can really like tease them out to be like, oh, this is structural or this is just emotional, because they're just one and the same.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's like it's just, of course, we always are talking about this, but it's the whole picture.
Yeah.
You know, so what is going on with your particular personal picture? You know, what is your emotional component? What is going on nutritionally? What is going on with your musculoskeletal system? And then, you know, all of those things. So, you know, we'll talk just a bit here about like things to do.
Yeah.
And we might loop back then to causes and stuff again, just because I feel like this is one of those things where we can bounce around a little bit, because when I think about it, I think, okay, so great, it could be all these different things, and how do I even address any of that? And so I liked how you mentioned, you know, you can go get adjusted. And if you get adjusted, sometimes that alignment really helps turn all of your muscles back on. And all of that can really be beneficial and helpful. You can get a massage, and that can release neck tension muscles, back muscles, hip muscles that are actually pulling on your neck. Or you could receive a different form of treatment, like Katie incorporates PT and MFR and your own just magic, right?
Yeah.
And CST too.
Yeah.
You know,
craniosacral therapy. Yep.
So there's just so body treatments.
Yeah.
Is definitely
I think that's the most important thing. Even though we're saying like it's not just structural, you need to get some hands on your body. If you're suffering from headaches, you need some hands on treatment. For sure. I think for sure I would say. And I would say, like, I tell people all the time, even I meet in person, I don't care what you do, start getting some body work.
Yeah.
Chiropractic, massage, come see me. You have to start nourishing your body and getting touch, blood flow, relaxation, like all the things that come from that. And I always think too, like, first step for me is drink a big glass of water, right? Most of us are chronically dehydrated, and we just need way more water than we think.
Yeah, I'm so happy you mentioned that because that's my first go-to as well is have I drinking water and or have I eaten protein?
Yes.
That's another big one for me personally in my body. I don't experience headaches very often. And when I do, that's the it. And same though for my family. If any of my family members are like, my head hurts, my first question is, have you drank any water today?
Yeah. Yep. And just resting. I mean, we talked about this the other day is like most of the time, if you can lay down and rest, but that alone feels difficult to do sometimes, right? So it becomes like that bigger issue. Why do you feel like you can't go lay down and rest or take the day off when you have a headache or different things like that? And that's probably like an underlying component of it too, of that emotional and spiritual side of it. So it's just so multifactorial. And like you said, it could be a whole nother part of the body that's causing pain. I mean, there's so many times, especially I'll work on someone's pelvis and their head feels better, or I work on their head and jaw and their pelvis relaxes. I mean, it's really, really incredible. And so I think opening up to that, it is the whole body and it's the whole person is really important when you're working with headaches, because they're really debilitating for people.
Absolutely.
And miserable.
Yes, yes, yes. And I feel that way too about just the rest piece. Like anyone who's able to, if you can, okay, you've drinking your water, you know if you've eaten something that day, and then to be able to lay and rest, I'll tell people, there's so many times. So when I have had this rare occurrence of getting a headache, I'll be able to go and lay and breathe right into the pain. And sometimes that even keys me into what part of my body it actually is in. Oh, it's in my shoulder, or my heart's closed, or, this part of my back is kind of wonky, or my legs being weird, whatever it is, but breathing into that, or I'll be breathing into that and ask myself, what is this? And it'll be, oh, you have been holding on to that conversation you had with so-and-so, and it's actually literally heavy on your mind, even though you not tuning into it. It's just in the peripheral, because our energy it goes to these things, but we're not conscious of it. So there, especially when I think of really anxiety or when you feel overwhelmed, your energy is all over. Right? It's thinking about this and it's thinking about that, and it's over here and it's over there, and it's tied into that person in that situation. Your energy is not focused and brought into your body. And so when you can breathe into that pain, and so this could be pain anywhere in your body, it doesn't have to be a headache, and actually ask it, what are you? You might really find an answer. And if you don't, no big deal. Just keep breathing the softness and the love into that area, and then go from there. Oh, I feel like you said something else I wanted to. Oh, the nervous system. So the other thing is, pain is a message. And so that's one of the reasons why the touch can be so great, because it's going to be directly affecting your nervous system and telling your nervous system, okay, let's reset. Let's figure out what's going on here. And that touch can just really do that for you. So receiving some sort of body work and everything can do that, just like rest can too. Whatever you can do to like really tell your nervous system, okay, now you're safe. Let's do some of this other work. Really being able to tune into all of that. So
Yeah. I think that's so important. I think that's why I think getting regular body work, needs to be the norm for people. I am amazed when people don't get regular massages or body work. I'm like, I don't understand how people live that way. Or they're like, I never get a massage, or they treat it like a treat. And I'm
Right.
like, I wouldn't know how to function like that. And I guess I feel very fortunate that I'm able to financially be able to go do that. But even just asking for it from a partner, just like making that part of like your regular routine, it's just, I think we're just really deprived of human touch a lot. I mean, I think of like, think of the last time people like you got hugged or this or that, especially if you don't have little kids. We just kind of go about our day and get really busy. So yeah, I definitely think that safe touch is super important. And that's what I find like people, probably one of the biggest benefits of when people come in and work with me is like their nervous system getting calmed down and finding a sense of safety within themselves again.
Exactly.
It's so powerful. It's so cool. I love being able to witness it all the time. It's just like makes my day.
It's magic. It's the magic of life.
It is the magic of life. It's so fun to be a part of it.
I love it. Okay, so I just wanted to touch upon just some other root cause things. We've kind of briefly touched upon them anyway, but sometimes eyesight. I remember when I was younger and I first went to the eye doctor, that was one of the things. They're like, are you having headaches? And that's a big question when you go to the eye doctor, because it can be a signal that some things need to be changed with your prescription, or something has changed and now you need a prescription or anything like that. Of course, life changes can do this. And so that brings us right back to the nervous system, really being able to ground out during those life changes, being able to have a therapist or friend or somebody to talk to, so you can hash that out, journaling, any of that kind of stuff to really free yourself through the life change stress components that happen. And so then that's stress in general. So sometimes it's a whole life overhaul. Like you're realizing your job is creating you so much stress that it's impacting your health, or your relationship is creating so much stress that it's impacting your health. So how do we shift the job or shift the relationship or create a different transformation there, whether that's leaving or changing or doing something, right? So how can we decrease the levels of stress in our life, which to me links right up to hormonal things, because stress impacts our hormonal endocrine system as well as vice versa. When we're experiencing hormonal endocrine disruptions, we feel more of that stress. So tuning into things like, how is your adrenal health? And how if you're a female and your cycle, how is that affecting it? Do you only get hormonal headaches, so it's at the same time every month? And if so, how can you support that? Because nutrition can be such a huge thing to really support the system. So we have our nourishment of nutrition, but then also other things like the well-known magnesium of relaxing and that type of thing. Or I think of even herbs like oat straw, because it has that magnesium and calcium ratio that's so delicious for our bodies, and being able to relax that. And right now I'm on a whole trace elements electrolyte kick, because I've been taking ionic elements, and that has been helping. That can help with sleep. And then that's another one. Like, how is your sleep? I mean, geez, I just feel like it's like this train of thought.
Right. There's so many components. And that's why I think, like we always say, addressing it truly holistically is super important. And like we talk about a lot, is finding the practitioner that's right for you, finding someone that can support you. And it might be multiple people. You might need like a naturopathic doctor to help with some of the hormone stuff and testing on some of that. You might need a chiropractor and a massage therapist or a body worker or a PT, or a life coach or a therapist, like all the things.
Yes.
And that's okay. And don't get overwhelmed. That's we have a podcast all about that too. But no, I mean, I think just realizing like, I don't know, all the different podcasts we recorded always just comes back to like being your full self and being embodied, and knowing wherever you're at, wherever you're going through, it's okay. And it's also more than okay, but it's wonderful to ask for help and support no matter where you're at. Crystal and I ask for help and support in life and with everything we're going through. So even if you're holding the role of practitioner, provider, we all know how important it is. The more you do it to have the support, and the more support you have, you realize how important it is. And it just becomes this beautiful cycle of lifting each other up. And it's like being a human.
Yes. Yes. And relieving the headache of being a human. Dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun.
There you go.
I love it. Well, let us know if you have any takeaways from this, if you've experienced headaches, what's worked for you. I know I have a lot of other friends who've had migraines and they have their own specific, nutrition protocols or this or that. That is just their jam. And it took time to figure it out. But we always love hearing from y'all and what helps you. And cheers to some lighter, happier, pain-free days.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us. You can find us on Instagram @EnliveningMusings. Connect with Crystal on her app Pleasure Fairy. Connect with Katie on her website wellnesswithkatie.com. Enjoy.